right. Welcome to the very first Ramble Bamble on MandaElysePanda. Today, Jeremy will be joining me in a rant about The Walking Dead.
We had a marathon of the first 3 seasons on Netflix in anticipation for the premiere of the 5th.
Starting on September 28th with a 2-hour live stream, Jeremy and I will be watching every episode of Season 4 on Netflix until the return of the 5th.
You can join us via Twitter, in the comments, or in the Hangout itself.
Today we will be ranting about the characters, what we like, what we don't like, their accomplishments, and their failures.
So let's take a bite out of the survivors of AMC's The Walking Dead.
To begin, I think we should probably talk about Rick, seeing as he's, the main character of the show.
Right.
And I have to say, over the course of 3 seasons, Rick does go through kind of a lot.
Yes. I think that him waking up in the world, the whole show blows up on him. All of a sudden, there's zombies everywhere, children.
A really, really telling part of the first season is the opening scene of him walking down to the gas station and shooting a little girl in the head.
Yeah.
That is how The Walking Dead opens. It's kind of ignored because it's such a shock of, oh my gosh, they just killed this kid zombie. But at the same time, if you think about it, he's shooting a child in the head while looking for his own child and wife.
And of course, there's a lot of post-traumatic stress that goes along with that.
Maybe that's why he says he's doing stuff and things all the time. People keep saying stuff to me and all I can say is stuff and things.
That's one way of glossing over all the atrocities that they've ever had to go through, is just saying stuff and things,
True. First off, Rick finds his family and then he gets, elected to be basically the second man / main man in charge across, season 1 and season 2. Yep. And then season 3, he's finally like,
this isn't a democracy anymore.
I want to go into Shane. He did a lot to try and help his buddy, Rick, he's his partner on the force and everything like that. And I feel like he did more than most would in that situation.
I think so. Him putting the gurney in front of Rick's door. Yep. Is kind of a shelter. Because he walks into the hospital and they're killing anybody and everybody.
I think in a, can I say, real life zombie apocalypse, the hospital has to be taken care of. The hospital has to be eradicated.
Immediately.
Like the whole barn thing, his character has to do it. His character has to be the one to be the jerk.
I think we should get back to season 3. Because season 3 is a very, very pivotal season. Mm-hmm. The last 2 episodes are very important.
Carl growing up in season 3.
Carl does a lot of growing up because this is something we noticed is that Carl basically goes over Rick and lets Michonne in. And then with Sasha and Tyrese, he does the same thing, although Rick isn't there.
Right.
He is accepting of these 3 people.
Yes, and then Rick is the complete opposite, which I think is a really interesting thing in that season, because it goes to show Rick his position of safety is kind of that of the Roman Empire. The son will kill the father if he wants to get the position, I guess.
That's an interesting way to
that's how I took it. Carl did a lot of growing up. It's, his mom.
I definitely, Carl having to deal with Lori is a very pivotal moment because, first off, he has to watch, he's there for the birth of his sister. He then has to watch his mother die giving birth to his sister. And then, on top of that, he has to kill his mother.
I think he handled it a lot better than Rick did.
Yes. And I think, Carl had more reason to have a mental break than Rick.
Yeah.
I think another really good character to start talking about, since we are talking about season 3, and people Carl has let in, is Michonne.
Her whole rogue character is kind of rad, I think. She's adapted to the new way of life on her own terms, and she has a really great way of dealing with it, I think.
I think she's probably one of the most effective killers on the show. For sure. Because, first off, Deadliest Warrior did a whole episode about, the samurai. They took these pig carcasses and took a samurai sword and went, shing! And they cut through, 5 with one swing of a samurai sword. Michonne chose a very good weapon because you don't tire out as easily if you're doing that.
And I will quote the book by Max Brooks, the Zombie Survival Guide. blades don't need reloading.
I also think she's a very caring character.
She realizes the importance of a group, however she can function, you know, remotely. We have a special guest, Rosie Posey.
Anyway, back to what I was trying to say about Michonne. I think a very touching, sad, painful, just what else could you do moment is Andrea's death, where she's like, I'm not leaving you and I will look you in the eyes until it's over.
It's a touching moment, I think. Yeah. I like that there's you know, touching moments in a sea of, you know, chaos and violence. I mean, that's good storytelling.
But at the same time, the chaos and violence doesn't really happen till the end of the seasons anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you're guaranteed, you know,
a zombie kill every episode.
A seriously great kill. But Greg Nicotero is, I've followed him for a long time throughout his entire career, K&B Studios and all that kind of stuff. I've got a lot of respect for him, and I like the special effects that he does. It definitely fulfills the zombie fans thing, yeah. Oh,
and I wanted to say that even though there are some wishy-washy women characters, I think that the women are very strong on the show.
Yeah.
I have a love for Maggie. Maggie is my favorite character, female, besides Michonne.
Maggie does, yeah, she does work.
I mean, when they first enter the prison, Maggie is the first one to kill a walker that's in a SWAT team suit. When they are attacking the governor, Maggie's the first one to do like 2 headshots in a row. That's 2 kind of pivotal moments where Maggie is like forefront of women power.
Yeah, she takes the lead woman role for a good chunk of season 3. We've been messing up though.
What?
I think a mutual favorite character of ours, Glenn.
Glenn
is turning into quite the undead slaughter machine.
I love his character start because he starts out. He's like, I was a pizza boy.
Yeah, and he's good at navigation.
He's great at navigation. So he's like, I'm a pizza boy. And then he becomes this war machine that just kind of keeps going.
That he does.
But, as such, I think Glenn acts irresponsibly. And I think that's one of his failures.
He does do a lot of hero kind of stuff. Who else do we want to talk about? That's what I figured.
Daryl. Daryl is my favorite. He doesn't really have too much character development. He doesn't really, you know...
Yes, Rose.
Oh, yes. Smell Daryl. He doesn't really do super, like, crazy story-changing things.
No.
But he does have episodes about him. He can kick butt. He's like the Legolas of The Walking Dead.
Yep.
And he is bomb. And I think he kind of goes through a lot. He starts out as, you know, being underneath his brother, and then he is underneath Rick, but then he becomes like a second leader in the group. No, I think season 3 ends on a really good note, and I think that we can also end this on a really good note, and we'd love for you guys to join us in these live streams that we will be doing. They will literally be every day. And we will tell you the times on Twitter, probably, and on the YouTube as much as possible. Seriously, we want you to join the chat if you have a webcam. Let us know in the comments why we should let you join us and why you love The Walking Dead.
And I also want you to help us talk a little smack about some of these characters and storylines.
Thanks so much for watching this very first Ramble Bamble. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.